Hi guys, how you doing? Thank you for all the love on all the other videos. My name is Nigerian, and today in this video I'll be talking about fuel shortages, and I'm starting with this. On Christmas Eve, President Muhammadu Buhari assured Nigerians the relevant agencies and bodies would curb fuel price hikes.
Thank you.
President Buhari, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, and the Ministry for Petroleum Resources have all issued statements promising fuel availability and a significant improvement in the nearest time. Now let's embark on a virtual journey over the years and see if things changed when promised. 2017 going on 2018. This Christmas season, it became clear that many Nigerians would be hit by yet another wave of fuel crisis. Reports incoming from across the country showed fuel queues, commuters and motorists stranded by hikes in pump prices and public transportation fees and lack of petroleum products. The current government seems determined on bringing the situation under control, and we will know in just a few days if the woes of the Nigerian people will come to an end as promised. Let's go back to 2015. How were things looking some 2 years ago? The acute petrol shortage resulted in a near total shutdown of the economy. President-elect Muhammadu Buhari was just preparing to take office after his victory in the presidential election. The fuel marketers said the outgoing Goodluck Jonathan administration owed them about $1 billion in outstanding payments. But it is painfully evident that the problem has way deeper roots. Our oil sector is perhaps the best example of the corruption and mismanagement crippling our economy and blocking our sustainable growth. The 2015 crisis certainly was not the first time Nigerians have endured long lines at the petrol pumps and blackouts at home and work, but it wasn't the last, as we can now see. Let's go back to 2012. In January 2012, then President Goodluck Jonathan moved to end the subsidies that kept fuel prices around $0.4 a litre. By removing the $6 billion fuel subsidy, the government hoped to fix Nigeria's many basic infrastructure problems. But after the shock therapy, petrol pump prices doubled overnight and unleashed people's wrath. The Occupy Nigeria movement was born. Paired with several Boko Haram attacks, the protest practically shut the country down, and the Jonathan-led administration was forced to partially restore the subsidies. In 2012, the problems before Nigeria were almost identical to today's. Our 4 national refineries were barely functional, oil was imported and sold at about half the market price, and there was little control over where the money would go. What has changed since the year when Nigeria had an estimated 160 million electricity generators, roughly 1 per person? Number 4, 1977.
Oh my God.
Finally, we came across a 1977 issue of Daily Times, then Nigeria's #1 newspaper. Plastered all over the front page of its June 7, 1977 issue is the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation statement: nationwide shortages of petrol and kerosene may end next year, they said. Next year, for 1977, is 1978. Exactly 40 years later, the promised tomorrow never came. In 1977, Muhammadu Buhari was the Federal Commissioner for Petroleum, and Olusegun Obasanjo, then a Lieutenant General, was the military head of state. Every other article about Nigeria starts with the note on Nigeria being one of the biggest world producers of oil, or Africa's biggest economy. So how near is the nearest time for scarcity to cease in Nigeria? Thank you guys for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a like, write in the comments what you think, and also share this video with your friends and family. Till I come again next time, my name remains Nigerian. Goodbye.